The task force is trying to achieve the production of consistent, coherent principles and guidelines for companies to disclose their climate-related risks.
The task force is about trying to help one of the biggest issues in the world, namely fighting climate change. And there is the learning that finance is important to direct investments towards a lower carbonized economy.
Climate risk is kind of in a special category, and if companies aren't reminded or encouraged to think about these issues and release information to investors, then they simply won't do it.
Investors and other stakeholders don't really have the information they need to be able to make those informed decisions.
So by firms revealing their preparedness, the impact of these changes on their business, that kind of alleviates some of that uncertainty and can actually raise the value of their stocks and bonds.
Climate-related risks are not properly included in corporate risk management frameworks, systems, processes. And that's why I think it's essential what we're doing here to put forward a framework that allows companies to really disclose their risk.
It is a private sector-led task force, neutral on policy. So our job is to allow users of financial information to better assess risks, not necessarily to change those risks. But I think the outcome will actually be to improve climate change, to have less carbon emitted. But the way we do that in this exercise is to get better disclosure.
The first time that such a wide group of people from various parts of the industry are getting together.
So there are some companies who have been thinking about this issue for a long time and really have a sophisticated approach and disclosure. There are other companies that are just beginning to think about the fact that climate has a material impact on their operations.
We would like to have precise information, but this is a very open subject. We would like to have concrete information, but we don't want to overburden the firms. We would like to have something that's rigorous, but we don't want to create undue legal risks. So there's a trade-off that we are really trying to grapple with.
The task force is very focused on not adding a lot of extra work. We're trying to be very creative, map into the existing systems, but we're trying to really link it to the financial implications and the financial risks so that investors, as well as companies trying to manage their risk lower, can be more successful.
It has to be balanced. I mean, you have to believe that the benefit of good disclosure outweighs the cost and the effort involved in pulling together all of the information. From a preparer perspective, that you always want to do with your financial reporting is to provide transparency, provide all your stakeholders with a very clear sense of what your business is all about.
Objective number one is to design the guidance in such a way that it is inclusive, it's not too intimidating, it doesn't ask you to go from 0 to 100 in the first year.
It'll take time. It will be a journey, and that's a good thing, but we'd like people to get started quickly. There will be competitive advantage for companies to actually go on the front foot and describe in a positive way how they think about climate risk and its possible impact on the way they do business.
We will be able to get information which is comparable and consistent across different countries and companies. This is a collaborative effort, it's an international effort.
So many of the initiatives that are out there are wonderful, and they've developed a strong following amongst the sustainability community over many years. This is really all about taking that into the mainstream.
Consistent, comparable, widespread disclosure on climate-related issues is not widely available, it's not widely discussed, and it needs to be.
And it's really something that we are trying to do for the benefit, ultimately, of all stakeholders in the global financial system. That's pretty much everybody.
The issue of climate risk, I think, is one of the major societal risks that we are needing to address. I think it's very clear there is a gap that needs to be filled, and that the report will provide a very important body of recommendations. There are very few risks that have this intergenerational quality.